jump right in, starting with our adjudicated awards, moving to high point by age division, and then also high point by performance division at 11 o'clock numbers for our teen groups. But before I do, I just want a quick friendly reminder to all of the studio owners that you can pick up your studio awards box filled with all of these awards at the registration desk on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Again, that's at the registration desk on Sunday at 2:30. You can pick up all of these awards in your nicely prepared studio awards boxes. All right, we are going back to earlier on this morning, starting with number 103 from Conservatory of Dance Arts, Live and Blueberry Tree receives a high gold. 104 from Conservatory of Dance Arts, McKenna and Silhouette receives a high gold. 106 from Conservatory of Dance Arts, Sophie and Welcome to Havana receives a high gold. 107 from Conservatory of Dance Arts, Brooke and Kay Sarah receives a high gold. 108 from Conservatory of Dance Arts, Quinn and Hey Mommy receives a high gold. 109 from Conservatory of Dance Arts, Brenna and To the Moon receives a high gold. 110 from Conservatory of Dance Arts, Eden and Friend Like Me receives a high gold. 111 from Glamour and Grace Studio of Dance, Scarlett and Riverside receives a high gold. 112 from Glamour and Grace Studio of Dance, Geometric receives a high gold. 113 from Glamour and Grace Studio of Dance, Brinley and Human receives a high gold. 114 from Glamour and Grace Studio of Dance, Raina and Bring Me to Life receives a high gold. 115 from Glamour and Grace Studio of Dance, Libby and Let's Work receives a high gold. 116 from Glamour and Grace Studio of Dance, Cullen and The Boy receives a high gold. 117 from Glamour and Grace Studio of Dance, Emma and Cage of Bones receives a high gold. 118 from Glamour and Grace Studio of Dance, Olivia and Walking receives a high gold. 119 from McCalla Academy of Dance, Jolie and Stuck receives a high gold. 120 from McCalla Academy of Dance, I Can Do Better receives a gold. 121 from McCalla Academy of Dance, Olivia and How Can You Tell If It's Going to Rain receives a high gold. 122 from McCalla Academy of Dance, Madison and Happy receives a high gold. 123 from McCalla Academy of Dance, Harper and Shoe Fly Pie receives a high gold. 124 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Jasmine and It's About That Walk receives a high gold. 125 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Emerson and All Aboard receives a high gold. 126 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Kayla and Waitlist receives a high gold. 127 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Reed and Skeletons receives a high gold. 128 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Eliza and Footprints receives a high gold. 129 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Autumn and Loyal Brave True receives a high gold. 130 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Savannah and the Mad Hatter receives a high gold. 131 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Molly and You Can't Stop the Beat receives a high gold. 132 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Isley and Familiar receives a high gold. 133 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Darielle and Tightrope receives a high gold. 134 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Zoe and Hamilton receives a high gold. 135 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Laura Beth and Rich Girl receives a high gold. 136 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Alex and Took the Night receives a high gold. 137 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Sophia and Wherever You Will Go receives a high gold. 138 from Encore Dance Company, Maddie and Clown receives a high gold. 139 from Encore Dance Company, Mackenzie and Iran receives a high gold. 140 from Encore Dance Company, Mila and Single Ladies receives a high gold. 141 from Encore Dance Company, Anna Michael and Lost receives a high gold. 142 from Encore Dance Company, Ella Grace and ABC receives a gold. 143 from Encore Dance Company, Lily Kate and Lost Boy receives a high gold. 144 from Encore Dance Company, Kinley and Where Lost Things Go receives a high gold. 145 from Encore Dance Company, Rayanne and Dream receives a gold. 146 from Encore Dance Company, Addison and Silhouettes receives a high gold. 146 from Encore Dance Company, 147 from Encore Dance Company, Lindsay and Oceans receives a high gold. 148 from Encore Dance Company, Landry and Dream is a Wish receives a high gold. 149 from Encore Dance Company, Addison and Warrior receives a high gold. 150 from Encore Dance Company, Hadley and Mambo Number 5 receives a gold. 151 from Birmingham Academy of Dance, Ella and The Garden receives a high gold. 152 from Birmingham Academy of Dance, Adrena and Something Beautiful receives a high gold. 153 from Birmingham Academy of Dance, Brenna and Forever Mine receives a high gold. 154 from Birmingham Academy of Dance, Sky and Welcome to the Jungle receives a high gold. 155 from the Dance Center on Main, Looking for the Rainbow receives a high gold. 156 from the Dance Center on Main, Rylan and Remembrances receives a high gold. 157 from the Dance Center on Main, Magic receives a high gold. 158 from the Dance Center on Main, Aubrey and Nature Boy receives a high gold. 159 from the Dance Center on Main, Charlie and Never Enough receives a high gold. 160 from the Dance Center on Main, Jaylee and Goosebumps receives a high gold. 161 from the Dance Center on Main, Ava Ann and Smile receives a high gold. 162 from the Dance Center on Main, Chelsea and Colors of the Wind receives a high gold. 163 from the Dance Center on Main, Cameron and Candy receives a high gold. 164 from the Dance Center on Main, Alexa and Hit the Road Jack receives a gold. 165 from the Dance Center on Main, London and Respect receives a high gold. 166 from the Dance Center, Cece and Spanish Rose receives a high gold. 167 from the Dance Center, Isabella and Released receives a high gold. 168 from the Dance Center, Maddie and I Will Survive receives a high gold. 169 from the Dance Center, Kaylor and Sophisticated receives a high gold. 170 from the Dance Center, Lucy Claire and Whisper receives a high gold. Number 172 from the Dance Center, Gracie and No More Tears receives our first Stop the Clock award. 173 from the Dance Center, Annie and Yes I Can receives a high gold. 174 from the Dance Center, Lydia and My Heart With You receives a Stop the Clock award. 175 from the Dance Center, Allie and The Path receives a Stop the Clock award. 176 from the Dance Center, Gracie and Smokestacks receives a high gold. 177 from the Dance Center, Mary Jordan and Mind receives a Stop the Clock award. 178 from the Dance Center, Louise and Dream receives a high gold. 179 from the Dance Center, Mackenzie and Boogie Shoes receives a high gold. 180 from the Dance Center, Kate and Without You receives a high gold. 181 from the Dance Center, Juliana and Daughter receives a high gold. 182 from Studio H Dance Company, Fuego receives a gold. 183, from Studio H Dance Company, Radley and Wind It Up receives a high gold. 184 from Studio H Dance Company, Emma Ryan and Light the Sky receives a gold. 185 from Studio H Dance Company, Lily and Say You Love Me receives a gold. 186 from Studio H Dance Company, Sister Sister receives a gold. 187 from Studio H Dance Company, Chloe and Baby I'm a Star receives a gold. 188 from New Level Dance Company, Aviana and Bang Bang receives a high gold. 189 from New Level Dance Company, Lily and Static receives a Stop the Clock award. 190 from New Level Dance Company, Emily and Without Limits receives a Stop the Clock award. 191 from New Level Dance Company, Macy and Wind It Up receives a high gold. 192 from New Level Dance Company, Olivia and We Are Ghost receives a high gold. 193 from New Level Dance Company, Reese and Rule the World receives a high gold. 194 from New Level Dance Company, Alessia and Dreaming in Red receives a high gold. 195 from New Level Dance Company, Lainey and Amazing Maisie receives a Stop the Clock award. 196 from New Level Dance Company, Serenity and My Immortal receives a high gold. 197 from New Level Dance Company, Ella and Shrine East receives a Stop the Clock award. 198 from New Level Dance Company, Reagan and Black Hole Sun receives a high gold. 199 from Jill's Studio of Dance, Riley and Crippled Bird receives a Stop the Clock award. 200 from Jill's Studio of Dance, Addison and How Does a Moment Last Forever receives a Stop the Clock award. 201 from Jill's Studio of Dance, Claire and Baby I'm a Star receives a Stop the Clock award. 202 from Jill's Studio of Dance, Collier and Love Has No Limits receives a high gold. 203 from Dance Force Clarksville, Paisley and Finding Wonderland receives a high gold. 205 from Dance Force Clarksville, Skyla and Good Morning Baltimore receives a high gold. 206 from Dance Force Clarksville, Emma and Big and Loud receives a Stop the Clock award. 207 from Dance Force Clarksville, Ariana and Call Me Snow receives a high gold. 209 from Dance Force Clarksville, Kirsten and Harmonies receives a high gold. 210 from Dance Force Clarksville, Bailey and Lullaby receives a high gold. 211 from Dance Force Clarksville, Camden and Whole Lotta Woman receives a high gold. 213 from Center for Performing Arts, I Look to You receives a high gold. 214 from Center for Performing Arts, Abigail and Me Oh My receives a high gold. 215 from Center for Performing Arts, Gracie and Face Shopping receives a high gold. 216 from Center for Performing Arts, Haley and Endangered Species receives a high gold. 217 from Center for Performing Arts, Saria and Blank Page receives a high gold. 218 from Center for Performing Arts, Lily and One receives a high gold. 219 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Kaylee and Big Time receives a high gold. 220 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Piper and Billie Jean receives a high gold. 221 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Caroline and How Rare receives a Stop the Clock award. 222 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Paige and I Put a Spell on You receives a high gold. 223 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Abigail and Trampoline receives a high gold. 224 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Lena and Wizard of Oz Medley receives a high gold. 225 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Addison and Somewhere Over the Rainbow receives a high gold. 226 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Grace and Aurora receives a high gold. 227 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Evie and Black Car receives a high gold. 228 from Impulse Performing Arts Studio, Kanakia and Ready or Not receives a high gold. 229 from Impulse Performing Arts Studio, Leilani and Mine for the Taking receives a high gold. 230 from Impulse Performing Arts Studio, Jada and Dance to the Boogie receives a high gold. 231 from Spotlight Dance Studio, Kinsley and Heart in My Hands receives a high gold. 232 from Spotlight Dance Studio, Nema and The Light That Never Fails receives a high gold. 233 from Spotlight Dance Studio, Dakota and Heart of Glass receives a high gold. 234 from Spotlight Dance Studio, Chloe and Hold Your Breath receives a high gold. 235 from Dothan School of Dance, McGowan and Resurface receives a high gold. 236 from Dothan School of Dance, Anna Kate and Unleashed receives a high gold. 237 from Danceology, Keelan and The Call receives a Stop the Clock award. 238 from Center Stage Performing Arts Studio, Taylor and Dawn Cruz receives a Stop the Clock Award. 239 from Center Stage Performing Arts Studio Peyton in Chicago, Illinois receives a High Gold. 240 from Millennium Dance Complex Nashville, Layla and Tact receives a Stop the Clock Award. 241 from Dance South, Addie and Wicked Game receives a High Gold. 242 from Rooted Arts Project Avery and Hide and Seek receives a High Gold. 243 from Evolve Dance Complex London and Tar receives a Stop the Clock Award. 244 from Evolve Dance Complex Penelope and These Boots receives a Stop the Clock Award. 245 from Stars Dance Studio Kaya and System Activated receives a Stop the Clock Award. 246 from Stars Dance Studio Giselle and Expressions receives a Stop the Clock Award. 247 from Hype Dance Studio Coco and The One That I Want receives a High Gold. 248 from Jackie O'Neill School of Dance Adelaide and Material Girl receives a Gold. 249 from JBP Entertainment Georgia Beth and Come Together receives a Stop the Clock Award. 250 from the Green Room Dance Studio Kala and Helium receives a Stop the Clock Award. 251 from Laura's Studio Harper and Way Down We Go receives a High Gold. 252 from the Colony Audrey and Anchor receives a Stop the Clock Award. 252A from the Colony Keegan and Downtown receives a High Gold. Almost, there we go. Perfect. Okay, 253. From the Difference Dance Company, Everly and Restless Heart receives a High Gold. 254 from the Hardest Academy of Performing Arts, Morgan and Over receives a High Gold. 255 from the Studio Savannah, Alley and World to Believe In receives a High Gold. 256 from Legacy Dance Studio, Madeline and Wings receives a High Gold. 257 from Legacy Dance Studio, Hadley and Trouble receives a High Gold. 258 from Legacy Dance Studio, Brooke and Knocking on Heaven's Door receives a High Gold. 259 from Legacy Dance Studio, Mila and Never Enough receives a Stop the Clock Award. 260 from Pulse Dance Center, Neve and Last Chance to See receives a High Gold. 261 from San Juan Dance, Caitlin and Synthesize receives a High Gold. 262 from San Juan Dance, Alexandra and Aspero Alighted receives a High Gold. 263 from San Juan Dance, Nicole and Miss Spectacular receives a High Gold. 264 from Dance Force Clarksville, Lauren and Forever receives a High Gold. 265 from Dance Force Clarksville, Olivia and Daughter receives a High Gold. 267 from Encore Dance Company, When Tomorrow receives a High Gold. 268 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Meek receives a Stop the Clock Award. 269 from McCullough Academy of Dance, Don't Be Afraid to Be Different receives a Gold. 270 from Dance Force Clarksville, Composition receives a High Gold. 271 from Miss Amy's Competitive Edge, Forever Young receives a High Gold. 273 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, California Love receives a Stop the Clock Award. 274 from McCullough Academy of Dance, Edge of 17 receives a Gold. 275 from Encore Dance Company, Mallory Claire and Distance receives a Gold. 276 from Dance Force Clarksville, OCD receives a High Gold. 278 from Dance Force Clarksville, Addison and Stay a While receives a High Gold. 279 from McCullough Academy of Dance, Reagan and Tie Me Down receives a High Gold. 280 from Dance Force Clarksville, Roses receives a High Gold. 281 from Encore Dance Company, American Woman receives a Gold. 282 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Caroline and Clown receives a Stop the Clock Award. 283 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Sophia and Stronger receives a High Gold. 284 from McCullough Academy of Dance, Hypnotized receives a Gold. 285 from Dance Force Clarksville, Disturbed receives a High Gold. 286 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Peyton and On My Bones receives a Stop the Clock Award. 287 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Brianna and Ain't No Sunshine receives a Stop the Clock Award. 288 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Mackenzie and Madness receives a High Gold. 289 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Celeste and Tapestry receives a High Gold. 290 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, McKaylee and Walk the Line receives a High Gold. 291 from McCullough Academy of Dance, Step in Time receives a Gold. 292 from Miss Amy's Competitive Edge, Lexi and Free Me receives a Stop the Clock Award. 293 from Dance Force Clarksville, Twilight receives a High Gold. 294 from Heidi Knight School of Dance, Somebody to Hold receives a Stop the Clock Award. 295 from Birmingham Dance Theater, The Skaters, Waltz receives a Stop the Clock Award. 296 from Jill's Studio of Dance, Salvation receives a Stop the Clock Award. 297 from the Dance Center, Welcome to the Moulin Rouge receives a Stop the Clock Award. 298 from the Difference Dance Company, Sophie and Unravel receives a Stop the Clock Award. 299 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Clean receives a Stop the Clock Award. 300 from Jill's Studio of Dance, The Chain receives a Stop the Clock Award. 301 from the Dance Center, Scorned receives a Stop the Clock Award. 302 from the Hardest Academy of Performing Arts, The Hanging Tree receives a High Gold. 303 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Perception receives a High Gold. 305 from the Dance Center, I Do receives a Stop the Clock Award. 307 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Shay and Got It In You receives a High Gold. 308 from Jill's Studio of Dance, One More Time receives a High Gold. 309 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Rhea and Turn to Stone receives a Stop the Clock Award. 310 from the Dance Center, Blinded by the Light receives a Stop the Clock Award. 312 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Julianne and Elephants receives a Stop the Clock award. 313 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Ariana and Honeymoon receives a high gold. 314 from the Dance Center, Meet the Plastics receives a Stop the Clock award. 315 from Birmingham Dance Theater, Marin and Pale Yellow receives a high gold. 316 from Jill's Studio of Dance, Raina and Human receives a Stop the Clock award. 317 from the Dance Center, Cameron Clare and The Last Event receives a Stop the Clock award. 318 from the Dance Center, Meredith and Chapter's End receives a Stop the Clock award. 319 from the Dance Center, Leslie and Where Does the Good Go receives a high gold. 321 from the Dance Center, Carly and Disappear receives a high gold. 322 from the Dance Center, Tabula Rasa receives a Stop the Clock award. 323 from the Hardest Academy of Performing Arts, Kylie Ann and This Life receives a high gold. 325 from Alabama Ballet, Chloe and As for the Fall receives a Stop the Clock award. 326 from Impulse Performing Arts Studio, Don't Owe You receives a gold. 329 from Dance South, Don't Stop Me Now receives a high gold. 331 from Glamour and Grace Studio of Dance, Money receives a gold. 332 from Impulse Performing Arts Studio, The Great Escape receives a high gold. 334 from NVS Dance Studio, Sammy and Billie Jean receives a high gold. 335 from Studio H Dance Company, Rescue receives a gold. 336 from the Factory Dance Productions, Chloe in Time receives a high gold. 337 from Ballet by Day, Alexandra and Action Reaction receives a Stop the Clock award. 338 from Stars Elite Dance Center, Madeline and Say Goodbye receives a Stop the Clock award. 339 from Studio H Dance Company, I Wanna Dance with Somebody receives a gold. 340 from the Dance Company, Ava and Cornerstone receives a high gold. 341 from Dance Dynamics of Hattiesburg, Zoe and Cold Hearted receives a gold. And last but certainly not least, number 342 from Dance Dynamics of Hattiesburg, Katie and Black Car receives a gold. Congratulations to all of you guys. Awesome, awesome job. All right, we are now moving on to our high point by age division, starting with our psychic solo top 10. In 10th place, we have a four-way tie. First up in 10th for our psychic solos. From the Dance Center, it's Cece and Spanish Rose. Also in 10th overall from Encore Dance Company, it's Mila and Single Ladies. Also in 10th overall from Glamour and Grace Studio of Dance, it's Scarlett and Riverside. And rounding out 10th overall for our psychic solos from the Dance Center on Main, it's London and Respect. Moving on to 9th overall, standing alone in 9th from Birmingham Dance Theater, it's Addison and Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Standing alone in 8th overall for our psychic solos from Dance Force Clarksville, it's Paisley and Finding Wonderland. Standing alone in 7th overall from New Level Dance Company, it's Reese and Rule the World. We have a three-way tie for 6th overall. First up in 6th from the Dance Center, it's Annie and Yes I Can. Also in 6th overall from Encore Dance Company, it's Lily, Kate, and Lost Boy. And rounding out 6th overall for our psychic solos from the Dance Center, it's Maddie and I Will Survive. 5th overall, standing alone in 5th from Conservatory of Dance Arts, it's Brenna and To the Moon. 4th overall psychic solo from New Level Dance Company, it's Macy and Wind It Up. Now moving on to our top 3, we have a two-way tie for 3rd. First up in 3rd from Legacy Dance Studio, it's Mila and Never Enough. Also in 3rd overall from New Level Dance Company, it's Lainey and Amazing Maisie. 2nd overall psychic solo comes to us from the Green Room Dance Studio, it's Kala and Helium. Which means your first overall psychic solo comes to us from Evolve Dance Complex, it's Penelope and These Boots. Congratulations, Psychics, awesome job. We are now moving on to our mini solo top 10. We also have a three-way tie for 10th in our mini solos. First up in 10th, from Rooted Arts Project, it's Avery and Hide and Seek. Also in 10th overall from Center for Performing Arts, it's Saria and Blank Page. And rounding out 10th overall for our mini solos from Heidi Knight School of Dance, it's Emerson and All Aboard. Three-way tie for 9th overall for our mini solos. First up in 9th from Dothan School of Dance, it's Anna Caton Unleashed. Also in 9th overall from the Dance Center on Main, it's Charlie and Never Enough. And rounding out 9th overall for our mini solos, from Spotlight Dance Studio, it's Dakota and Heart of Glass. We also have a three-way tie for 8th overall. First up in 8th from Birmingham Academy of Dance, it's Ella and the Garden. Also in 8th overall from Heidi Knight School of Dance, it's Reed and Skeletons. And rounding out 8th overall for our mini solos from Conservatory of Dance Arts, it's McKenna and Silhouette. 7th overall, we have a two-way tie for 7th for our mini solos. First up from New Level Dance Company, it's Reagan and Black Hole Sun. And also in 7th overall from New Level Dance Company, it's Aviana and Bang. Moving on to 6th overall, standing alone in 6th from New Level Dance Company, it's Alessia Isabella and Dreaming in Red. Standing alone in 5th overall for our mini solos from New Level Dance Company, it's Emily and Without Limits. And we have a two-way tie for 4th overall. First up in 4th from New Level Dance Company, it's Lily and Static. And also in 4th overall for our mini solos from Jill's Studio of Dance, it's Claire and Baby I'm a Star. Moving on to our top 3, we have a two-way tie for 3rd overall. First up in 3rd from Danceology, it's Keelan and The Call. Also in 3rd overall from New Level Dance Company, it's Ella and Shrine East. Moving on to 2nd, we have a three-way tie for 2nd overall. First up in 2nd from the Dance Center, it's Allie and The Path. Also in second overall from JBP Entertainment, it's Georgia Beth and Come Together. And rounding out second overall for our mini solos from Dance Force Clarksville, it's Emma and Big and Loud. Which means your first overall mini soloist comes to us from Stars Dance Studio. It's Kaya and System Activated. Congratulations, mini soloists. Awesome job. Moving on to our mini duo trio top 3. Third overall for our mini duo trios from the Dance Center on Main, it's Looking for the Rainbow. Second overall mini duo trio coming to us from Glamour and Grace Studio of Dance, it's Geometric. Which means your first overall mini duo trio comes to us from Center for Performing Arts. It's I Look to You. Congratulations, minis. Awesome job. Moving on to our junior solo top 10. Standing alone in 10th overall from San Juan Dance, it's Caitlin and Synthesize. Standing alone in 9th overall for our juniors. From Center for Performing Arts, it's Abigail and Me Oh My. We have a two-way tie for 8th overall. First up in 8th from Spotlight Dance Studio, it's Chloe and Hold Your Breath. Also in 8th overall from Birmingham Dance Theater, it's Piper and Billie Jean. Two-way tie for 7th overall. First up from the Dance Center, it's Lucy Claire and Whisper. And also in 7th overall from Jill's Studio of Dance, it's Collier and Love Has No Limits. Two-way tie for 6th overall as well. First up in 6th from the Dance Center, it's Lydia and My Heart With You. And also in 6th overall from Jill's Studio of Dance, it's Addison and How Does a Moment Last Forever. Two-way tie for 5th overall. First up in 5th from the Dance Center, it's Gracie and No More Tears. And also in 5th overall from Birmingham Dance Theater, it's Caroline and How Rare. Standing alone in 4th overall for our junior solos in 4th from Stars Dance Studio, it's Giselle and Expressions. Now moving on to our top 3, we have a two-way tie for 3rd. First up in 3rd from Millennium Dance Complex Nashville, it's Layla and Tact. And also in 3rd overall from Jill's Studio of Dance, it's Riley and Crippled Bird. Three-way tie for 2nd overall for our junior solos. First up in 2nd from Evolve Dance Complex, it's London and Tar. Also in 2nd overall from Center Stage Performing Arts Studio, it's Taylor and Dawn Cruss. And rounding out 2nd overall from the Colony, it's Audrey and Anchor, which means your first overall junior soloist comes to us from the Dance Center. It's Mary Jordan and Mind. Congratulations, junior soloist. Awesome job. All right, we are now moving on to our teen group top 3. Teen group top 3, 3rd overall from Impulse Performing Arts Studio, it's The Great Escape. In 2nd overall for our teen groups from Dance Force Clarksville, it's OCD. And we have a two-way tie for 1st overall for our teen groups. First up in 1st from Jill's Studio of Dance, it's The Chain. And also in 1st overall from Hattie Knight School of Dance, it's California Love. Congratulations to you guys. Moving on to our teen line top 3, 3rd overall for our teen lines. From Jill's Studio of Dance, it's One More Time. Our 2nd overall teen line comes to us from Birmingham Dance Theater, it's Perception, which means your 1st overall teen line comes to us from Jill's Studio of Dance, it's Salvation. Congratulations to the teen lines. Moving on to our teen extended line top 3. 3rd overall teen extended line from the Dance Center, it's Tabula Rasa. 2nd overall teen extended line comes to us from Birmingham Dance Theater, it's the Skaters Waltz, which means your 1st overall teen extended line comes to us from the Dance Center, it's Scorned. Congratulations to you guys. We also have a tie for 1st overall teen production. First up in 1st from the Dance Center, it's Welcome to the Moulin Rouge. Tied with Hattie Knight School of Dance for Somebody to Hold. Congratulations, Teen Productions. Awesome job. We are now moving on to our senior solo top 10. 10th overall standing alone for our senior solos from Birmingham Dance Theater, it's Ariana and Honeymoon. In 9th overall standing alone from the Dance Center, it's Leslie and Where Does the Good Go? Two-way tie for 8th overall senior solo. First up in 8th from Birmingham Dance Theater, it's Raya and Turn to Stone. And also in 8th overall from Jill's Studio of Dance, it's Raina and Human. 7th overall, standing alone from Miss Amy's Competitive Edge, it's Lexi and Free Me. Standing alone in 6th overall for our senior solos from the Dance Center, it's Cameron Clare and The Last Event. We have a two-way tie for 5th overall. First up in 5th from Stars Elite Dance Center, it's Madeline and Say Goodbye. Also in 5th overall from Hattie Knight School of Dance, it's Caroline and Clown. Two-way tie for 4th overall. First up from the Dance Center, it's Meredith and Chapter's End. And also in 4th overall from Hattie Knight School of Dance, it's Brianna and Ain't No Sunshine. Moving on to our top 3 for our senior solos, we have a three-way tie for 3rd. First up in 3rd from the Difference Dance Company, it's Sophie and Unravel. Also in 3rd overall from Hattie Knight School of Dance, it's Peyton and On My Bones. And rounding out 3rd overall for our senior solos from Ballet by Day, it's Alexandra and Action Reaction. Standing alone in 2nd for our senior solos from Birmingham Dance Theater, it's Julianne and Elephants, which means your 1st overall senior soloist comes to us from Alabama Ballet. It's Chloe and As for the Fall. Congratulations, seniors. Awesome, awesome job. We also have a 1st overall senior duo trio coming to us from Miss Amy's Competitive Edge. It's Forever Young. Congratulations to you guys. All right, I'm now going to move on to my high point by performance division for our teen groups. Yes, so starting with our first overall teen ballet routine. Comes to us from Birmingham Dance Theater. It's the Skater's Waltz. We have a first overall teen contemporary routine coming to us from the Dance Center. It's Scorned. We have a first overall teen hip-hop routine coming to us from the Dance Center. It's Meet the Plastics. A first overall teen jazz coming to us from Jill's Studio of Dance. It's One More Time. First overall teen lyrical coming to us from the Dance Center. It's I Do. First overall teen musical theater coming to us from the Dance Center. It's Welcome to the Moulin Rouge. First overall teen specialty coming to us from Heidi Knight School of Dance. It's California Love. And our first overall teen tap comes to us from the Dance Center. It's Blinded by the Light. Congratulations to all the teen groups. Very, very nicely done. And now my last order of business are 11 o'clock numbers for the teen groups. Now 11 o'clock numbers are not necessarily the highest scoring routines, but just the routines that the judges felt best represented each age division. In no particular order, we have 4 for the teens. Yes, 4 11 o'clock numbers for the teen division. Again, in no particular order. First up from Jill's Studio of Dance, it's Salvation. Also from Hattie Knight School of Dance, at 11 o'clock number goes to Somebody to Hold. Also from Birmingham Dance Theater, it's the Skater's Waltz. And rounding out our teen 11 o'clock numbers from the Dance Center, it is Scorned. And that is going to round out our awards for tonight here in Birmingham at 24/7. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations to all the dancers who competed today. You guys were wonderful. We will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for some more groups at 7:30 a.m. Have a great night, everyone.